A story of an ornament that almost wasn't. About 2 weeks ago, a friend asked me to make a special ornament. A tradition carried through the years for her family. A special ornament for her daughter. Only we thought a tragedy occurred and she changed her mind. Prayers were said and a blessing occurred. The cat was fine and a Christmas present was delivered early. Now it was time to make an ornament to celebrate this precious baby being fine. We started with a simple wooden ornament. Now we have to paint the front and the back and the sides. Don't forget the sides. Paint the front, paint the back. Paint your lines straight. Brush strokes show, as you can see. Paint the back. Paint the edges. Let it dry. Don't rush your paint. After it dries, you get high and low spots. The low spots are where the paint needs another coat. High spots are where the paint took well. And you can see high and low spots on the back. There's always high and low spots. It always takes more than one coat. Very little paint is always only one coat. Reds take at least 7 coats. White can take up to 10 coats to get it even. But fortunately green usually takes 2 to 3. You want your strokes to go from one end of the ornament to the other end. It doesn't matter if it's straight up and down, if it's side to side, if it's diagonal, as long as they're all in the same direction. It gives a smoother coat, gives a more professional look, and usually hides the strokes, the brush strokes better. I can see that I'm going from one side to the other side all the way down. It would be a little easier to do if I had another hand. Just saying. After it dries, I do a rough sketch. It's a very rough sketch. I tend to paint more than I draw. And you'll see that. And this looks like nothing, and you're thinking, yee, I know you are, but that's okay, because like I said, it's just for proportions. And the first color goes on, that's not green. La la la, la da da da. I got his little paw sticking up there. You can't tell it because it just looks like a silhouette. But it's gonna be cute! And we start adding in some modeling colors to get the colors. And yeah, I kind of got ahead of myself with his little eyes, but I wanted the proportions right. And he's gonna look a little different when I get through with him, but it's a start. Alright, Gray's too wet to play with it right now, so we went to playing with building the Christmas tree. A Christmas tree for the kitty cat to play with. Of course. So he can knock all the ornaments off, like they always do. And we building the Christmas tree all around the little kitty cat. And we got a little branch going across his little paw, because he's going to knock an ornament off. Because that's what kitty cats do. If you ain't never had a kitty cat with a Christmas tree, then let me tell you, they knock off the ornaments. Yeah, I know. Too much paint. Pushed the paint just a little too hard, you did. But that's okay, because it's coming right along. Coming right along. Still pretty much just laying out colors. Cleaned up the eyes a little bit. Got a little too heavy-handed with the light gray. I'm pushing this paint, but that's okay. It ain't the first time I ever pushed paint. Alright, we added the green back into the eyes, put the undercoats underneath there a little to highlight, pull it, mainly so I could see where to draw the black line. That gray and that black gets too close together when it's wet, I hate to tell you, but it does. I'll get back in there and fix that just a little bit. But it's drying. It's coming along. It's coming along a little bit. I'm back in with white and did my lines because I didn't want to do black because it was going to be too dark. like I said, that gray and that white black, they're just almost the same shade when they wet. Almost. Not quite, but almost. This is why I like acrylic paint, because if I don't like the way it looks when it dries, I can paint over it. It's so much more forgiving than watercolors. Of course, it paints opposite too, but that's okay. Paints opposite when acrylic paints from dark to light, and watercolors paint from light to dark. Because you can't get the lighter color once you start going darker in watercolors. It's just not the way it works. I'm sitting here watching paint dry, la la la. Yeah, put some more green in that tree, because it sure did start to fade out a little bit. It happens like that. I took up the little red spots, because we got some high-low spots. What'd I tell you? I told you red is a stubborn color. It is a stubborn color. Eyes coming along a little bit. Gotta have that white underneath there. But for just a minute I needed it to draw the line underneath the eye. I know it's a cheat. But like I said, acrylics are very forgiving. They let you paint over them all the time. They don't care. Had to add Christmas lights, because there's always lights on the tree these days. Not many people just put candles on them, because they're not safe. And y'all know how I feel about fire, so that ain't gonna happen. Not today. No light fire, no light fire. You wanna know why? Go look at the previous video, you'll figure it out. And now we got to wait on paint to dry again. I think I'm going to paint the silver on the top. Yep, that's what I think I'm going to do while I'm waiting on that paint to dry. And it's coming right along now. Starting to look like a kitty. I like the silver up on the top. I do, I like it. Put a little outlining up there so it looks a little fancy, but it ain't all the outlining I'm going to do, because that ain't near enough. It's in the details. The devil is in the details. I don't know what to tell you. I kind of like it. It's kind of working for me. Definitely can see the kitty cat paw reaching over there to whop that ball and knock it off. Well, it's coming right along. I still got too much white in this kitty cat. Don't overthink things. I thought I could fix those eyes and make them a little better. Yeah, I messed them up, so I got to paint over them. But I like acrylic because it lets you paint over it. I like acrylic because it lets you paint over it. That's why I use it with my kids. Yeah. They can't really mess up their painting, because once it dries we can paint it again. It's really cool like that. Put some white highlights in. Put some of the yellow in, because that cat's got a little bit of yellow in his face right at the top. It's a good spot. He's really a tortoiseshell, but you can't really see that in the picture. But I know that. Okay. Final adding of some green, so I got some over the balls, so it looks like it's there and started not just sitting on top, because that looked kind of goofy. And had to add a little bit to his face and change it up a little bit. It's not quite right yet around his mouth, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, that's starting to look a little better. I fixed the eyes, I did. Took away some of that highlighting, because it had some light on one side, but not on the other side. And this is not my kitty cat, this is another kitty cat. So we had to fix that. And we did the outline up at the top there. So it's starting to come right along. I need to fix a little bit around the mouth, I think. Let's see. Alright. I think we've pushed this paint just about as far as we need to push it right now. I think it's pretty much done. Except maybe around the muzzle. Maybe. I don't know, this is 1.25 at least. Might be 1.3 something. It's bigger than the original. So, kind of distorts the pixels, kind of, but not really, but yeah. Because it's a little smaller, it don't stand out going, look at me. Alright, folks. So here's the ornament that almost wasn't. Merry Christmas! Thank you for watching. Hope you had a laugh or two. Yeah, I know, I do a lot of voices. Do a lot of singing too. It's because of the grades that I teach.